Yo, the QB school, huh? Welcome, neighbor.
Hello, my name is Joseph. Um, I went on your live a couple of days ago. You called me a demon. I'm still, and then you kicked me off. You didn't have me back. I still want to ask you, like, do you remember who I am?
No, I call everyone a demon
How come?
because you're either a child of God or you're a child of Satan.
Right. So let's say that, right? Let's say you're either a child of God or a child of Satan, right? Are you not trying to evangelize what you believe to be true? Are you not trying to help people find God? No, actually, no, you are. That's why you do this live stream. So I shouldn't even ask that.
Well, no, I think you already know God. You're just suppressing the truth and unrighteousness. So,
Last time you called me child of Satan, right? I didn't even tell you because I'm not Catholic. I asked questions, and then you kicked me off. You didn't let me explain myself, and then it was like kind of bad. So like for this conversation, is it okay if we can both? Hello, Najee. Is it okay if we can discuss like calmly? Because I just had questions and you didn't answer them last time.
4 days left before a comet smashes.
I mean, I'm gonna kick you if I feel like it. So I don't really care if it, like what you
Well,
say.
yeah, of course. Like, I mean, it's your live, and I respect your rules, right? But I really do. My only goal right now is just to speak with you and converse with you, at least on this live, right? And
Yeah,
just
but
kind of
I know that you're in rebellion against God and you're a liar. So you're not gonna fool me.
okay. Well, okay, right. Your first statement. Can I ask you how?
How what?
How am I in rebellion against God?
Do you accept God as your authority?
Yeah, I do. Obviously, I think any Christian would. At least I hope.
Okay. Well, then why are you coming up here? I'm here to talk to non-believers. Why are you asking me
No,
questions?
because I had last time I had questions about the canon of the Bible, right?
Yeah,
And I was
but that's not what this live is about. Go read a book, study it yourself.
no, yeah, I did. That's why I came up to this live. I want to have a conversation with you, right? So
I don't want to talk about that. I want you to go study it yourself. This
I
isn't
did.
okay. Well, this is a live about proving the Bible's true. It's not about the canon of the Bible.
Okay, I'll just mute my mic then. Can I stay on here though?
No,
Okay, then I'll ask you about the Bible being 100% true, right? Why do you stick to a 66 book Bible when other places have more?
because I've already answered this question. So the
Not to me.
66 books of the Bible, they are authenticated because they're quoted by Jesus and the apostles in the New Testament. And the New Testament books are connected to the apostles. So they have that authority, and they also have a certain character of God, so we know they're God breathed. So that's
Yeah,
the criteria.
that was a great answer, right? And I agree with that statement. But I feel like this statement kind of more so goes for the Gospels and less so the epistles. For example, like the writings of Paul.
Burn in hell, demon. All right, what would you like to say?
How is denying the Bible irrational or wanting to?
Because the Christian worldview supplies. So there's certain, I would call them facts of experience, like facts that have to be true for you to have an experience. And so the Christian worldview provides or supplies these facts of experience. And because truth can't be contradictory, right? So facts can't have multiple contradictory explanations. So there's only one correct philosophical explanation for facts, and therefore the only explanation which saves rationality at all is the Christian explanation for facts.
That doesn't totally answer my question because there's a lot of things claimed within the Bible, and that you say to deny any of that or to not believe all of that is irrational.
Yeah, because the Bible represents a model of reality.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
it definitely makes claims, and those claims can't be empirically tested
If you don't
now.
like those claims, then you have to present an alternative model of reality that can supply for the facts of experience. What would be that model of reality?
What do you mean by facts of experience?
Like the uniformity of nature, logic, or morality, moral absolutes.
The uniformity of morality. How would you
No,
define? Because
the facts of experience, like things that have to be true for you to experience the world. Like logic has to be true for you to experience anything because you use logic to experience reality.
I mean, the human definition of logic is just a way for us to comprehend the world around us. It's not like it's not something that's super concrete.
Logic has to be true for you to experience or observe anything. Without logic, you couldn't even have an experience. So that would be a fact of experience, something that's necessarily true for you to even have an experience. And so the Christian worldview provides a foundation for that fact, whereas a non Christian worldview does not.
Okay, so what's the Christian foundation of logic then?
Jesus.
How so?
Logic is correct thinking about the world, and the Christian God is a mind who thinks correctly about the world, so that would be the structure to reality that
So is there no logic outside of Christian ideals? Because not all logic is not based in Christianity. Most of it isn't.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
All of it is based in Christianity.
Yeah, all logic comes from the Christian God.
How would you say, like, how so? How so?
I just told you that only the Christian worldview can supply a foundation for logic. There's no other foundation.
You're not explaining your foundation correctly. Like, what is the foundation? What's in the Bible? What's written in
Jesus
the Bible?
makes logic real. No Jesus, no make logic real.
How does Jesus make logic real? And logic existed before the Bibles were written or before any of his works were done. People had
Jesus existed before the creation of the universe.
Well, I'm asking you, like, before humans had any knowledge of Jesus,
before
we still had
the universe was created, Jesus existed, and he is the foundation of all that is existence. If you deny that, you owe me an alternative claim. What is the foundation of existence that is not Jesus?
The foundation of logic in humanity is just humans using our words and our intellect to model the universe. That's
not, because logic is necessary and normative, but a human mind isn't necessary or normative. So what you just said is horseshit. Do you know that you're lying? Or are you just ignorant?
To you, I might be ignorant, but I'm definitely not lying.
Okay, well, you need to read some books because it's coming off to people who read like you're a liar because you don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Nobody thinks I'm lying.
Okay.
I don't think he's lying.
Who cares what you think?
Well, you said everyone thinks I'm lying, so you just lied. Right there. That's crazy.
No, people who read and know the subject matter, they're going to think that you're a fucking liar. So
I read. I know the subject matter. I don't think so.
Yeah, what books have you read on metaphysics?
So I don't read books on metaphysics.
The subject is
metaphysics. Books on
science. The subject is metaphysics, you fucking liar. Why are you all liars?
Is this guy okay?
You fucking children of Satan.
Oh my God.
Get the hell off my panel.
This is like religious psychosis.
I don't want to talk to liars. I'd rather read a book than talk to you.
I'm not lying. I'm literally just asking you questions.
But you literally just told me something that was fucking.
I told you what I thought.
Contradiction. So you're either dumb or you're a liar. In either instance, I have no interest in
religious
talking
psychosis.
to you. What?
Okay, let's start at zero again. Let's go back to just.
I'm done. I'm done with you. We're done.
Why? What? I just want to have a conversation,
Because
talk
I
about
don't
it.
want to talk to dumb liars. Okay, that's why.
Why are you calling me a liar? You have no evidence
You're
of me being
either
a
a
liar.
liar or you're ignorant. I just listened to what you said. You
Well,
said
this
that
is a debate, and none of
it's not a debate. You're not my peer. You're not on my
debate
level.
live. It's literally in the title.
You're not
P.
on
Mars,
my
what is your
level.
level of education, my friend?
I'm a high school dropout.
Damn, that's crazy.
And you consider yourself our peers?
No, I'm above you. You're not at my level of debate. I'm a seasoned debater. Okay? So you can't really debate me.
You're a seasoned debater.
I am.
Okay, I have a
It-
question. I have a question because you
I
said
don't
that.
want to talk to you though.
I don't want to. You said that Christianity and that
Can you
Jesus
leave?
was the
Would you
foundation
leave?
of logic,
Would you
and
leave?
your model of logic
Would you
is.
please leave?
You can kick me if you want. Like, this is your life.
Why can't you just, like an adult, have some self-control and leave?
You're the adult screaming about me being a liar. Hello?
Yeah, because you lied to me. I don't appreciate that.
I'm not lying to you.
Well, then you're dumb, and then I don't want to talk to you because you need to go read.
Neither are
Okay,
true.
I don't want whatever, dude. I don't want to talk to you. Please
He
leave.
sounds,
I
my
wanna
friend.
talk to you,
This
dude.
host sounds like he's having like some sort of mental illness episode.
I've
here.
been in this live before.
Why?
It's always like
Why
this.
can't I just like not talk to liars? I mean, is that too much to ask?
But why are you? But you're still going back to me being a liar. You're not calling me ignorant. You're just calling me a liar.
Yeah, whatever. At this point,
Whatever.
like you're lying about being dumb.
I don't even.
Look, what you said to me was a contradiction.
What did I say to you? Do you remember what I said
You
to you?
said that like humans are the human mind is the foundation for logic.
Logic as it is now, and like logic isn't a universal thing.
That's
Like,
okay.
it's
That's
not-
a lie, and
it's
that
not-
again, and that's just more lies. So I'm just can you just please get the fuck off my panel?
How are the concepts of logic?
You disgust me. You disgust me.
Why do I
I'm
discuss you?
disgusted. Because you're a dumb liar.
Explain to me how I'm wrong.
I
like
don't
to know.
want to
Mars,
explain
seriously,
anything
what-
to you. I
what
just
is
want
your
you to
level of
fucking leave me
education?
alone. Demon, please leave, demon. And then I
No,
rebuke you in Jesus' name, please leave my panel.
Amen. Let's get back to the
Please.
debate.
You won't leave? You won't leave?
You have the kick button,
Why-
dude.
Why don't you just on your own free will leave? Like aren't you
I have the same free will to talk.
But I don't want you here. So you're gonna
If
force
you
yourself
don't want
on
me
me?
here, you can do something about it. I want to be here.
I'm
This is fun.
trying to get you to be reasonable.
Then kick me. You literally.
But
it's
you
your
can
loss.
leave.
Kick the
You have
last
the
guy.
power to leave on your own accord.
You have
like
the
an
power to
adult.
kick me.
You're gonna make me treat you like a child. You're gonna force
How
me
old
to
are
treat
you?
you like a child.
How old are
Okay. You really want me to? Here's what it's like to have a daddy. All right. You want to have a daddy? Here you go. Unbelievable.
That's crazy, P. Mars. They won't leave. They're
I know. Imagine someone is you invite them over for dinner and you're like, oh, it's getting late. Do you mind going home because I want to get ready for bed? And they're like, I'm not leaving.
you
You're a
know,
fucking weirdo.
that's weird.
Weird.
I'm so sorry, P.
Who
Mars.
does that?
Maybe this Rye guy.
I'm so impressed.
Maybe this Rye guy won't lie.
But then they'll talk about consent, right? Like, oh, we gotta have consent. It's wrong to do things without people's consent. It's like, I don't consent to talking to you. And they're like, I don't care about consent now.
I know, that's so stupid.
Like, what?
Oh
They
my
just,
God.
if it weren't for double standards, these people would have no standard.
It's true. Hey, Richard, what you got to say? Welcome, neighbor.
Really weird shit. You're really weird. Weirdo.
This is like the best atheism has to offer. I guess when you reject Jesus, then you play with hand puppets or something. Weird. But what's funny is that guy's a puppet of Satan. Why? I don't understand. Why would you want to let Satan control you with fear when you could be free of all that if you repent and turn to Jesus? His yoke is easy. His burden is light. But no, they want to be slaves to Satan.
Jesus has to set them free
Bizarre.
because they themselves free.
Yeah, Genesis 2 doesn't contradict Genesis 1. They're different perspectives.
And one's a close-up look, and one's a far-away look, or a logical, linear look. Why don't you look up the Google answers to seemingly contradictory that can be answered by Google?
Champ, you're going to hell.
Nah, man.
You need to repent.
I'm on your team right now.
No, you're gonna burn, bro.
So that just made me laugh.
You won't be laughing when you're burning in hell. You better laugh.
I'm cursing you right now.
Get your laughs in now. Hey, Tab, you know what's funny?
Chicken butt.
Check this out. So Earth is the closest to heaven the non-believer will get, right?
Yeah.
And Earth is the closest to hell the Christian will get.
I love that.
Yeah.
Sorry. It sounded like a funny joke.
I heard that the other day. I thought that was kind of funny.
You know, this is funny.
Your attempts to discredit the God of the Bible.
Well, you're a Christian. That shouldn't be that funny to you. But
No, it's funny.
listen. All right, let me talk.
Oh, okay, let him talk.
Yeah, let me talk. Oh, do you just call me a him?
Black man.
Do you just call me a him? You just call me a him?
Black woman.
Those are my
speaking.
pronouns.
Okay, black woman talking.
No, the woman's. I'm not a woman either.
Oh.
Do you not see the profile picture, buddy?
Okay.
That's right. Respect my boundaries. Anyways.
Normal behavior.
Shh. Shh.
You're normal.
Shh. Do you hear that?
Sounds normal.
Shh. That was the sound of respect. You know why? You know why I didn't hear anything? Because there's no respect in the air. You're not respecting my boundaries. You little snitch. Anyways, like I was saying, you want to hear something funny?
No.
May you want to hear something funny?
Only I'm allowed to be funny.
Say something funny right now.
Shut the fuck up. That's a joke I told to my cousins one time.
What was that?
We were at dinner at a restaurant, and they go, "Pat, our cousin's funny. Say something funny." And I said, "Shut the fuck up."
Oh, okay. I just finished my book. I read a book. What book did you read?
The Great Debate.
Oh yeah, would you send me a link to that? Because I've lost it.
What are you? Are you on Discord?
Just DM me. I think I can get it if you DM me.
I don't know how to send links on TikTok.
Okay.
Is it?
I'm on Discord, but I don't know what I am.
Yeah. Well, Darth could probably figure out. I don't know. I don't know how to do it on TikTok. Tesla.
What's up?
Hi.
So you say the Bible's 100% true?
Yes, I think it's demonstrable with certainty.
Okay. So you think Moses split the Red Sea?
Yes.
Okay. And you think Noah built an ark?
Yes.
Okay. Got it.
They all laughed at Noah, but they weren't laughing when they were drowning.
Did they laugh when they walked across the Red Sea when it was split by a stick?
Again, the Israelites were fleeing from the army of Pharaoh, but the army of Pharaoh wasn't laughing when the Red Sea drowned them.
So you as a functional adult think that the ocean was split?
Yeah.
How? How'd that happen?
Sea.
Sure. Any body of water like that? How did that happen?
God snorted with his nostril, right, and that caused the Red Sea to split.
I think I know what this slide is.
Why did you have a problem splitting the sea?
I don't have a problem with anything. You can believe whatever you want. It's just.
Oh wait, if God made the world, is it and the sea, is it okay to split it? In your permission? With your permission, is that okay?
If what?
If God made the sea, and He tells the ocean it can only go this far, do you think He doesn't have the power to split the sea?
I would say that seems a bit far-fetched.
Isn't it kind of stupid to say the creator of everything can split a
body
of water?
What you're doing is you're saying that there's this realm of possibility, and that's the backdrop for whether God can do something or not. You see what I'm saying? So you have this standard of what's possible, and then you're applying that standard of what's possible to God.
Well, I guess using that standard, then, if God can split the sea, why does God allow children to have terminal cancer? If he had the power to do that in the real world, because he went through willpower, right? He split it himself. Why would he use his power to split the sea, but not to cure kids with terminal cancer?
Because when God intervenes, like in the case of splitting the sea, he's doing that because if he doesn't do that, Satan's counterfeit plan to God's plan will win. So he only intervenes to defeat Satan's plan. But Satan's plan has already been defeated. Death has been defeated. The children with cancer can repent, turn to Christ, and be saved and have eternal life.
So then the life doesn't really matter on Earth, is what you're saying. It just comes down to the...
It matters, but there's more important things. Satan wants us to focus on what's temporary, but what's most important is eternity.
But I guess then I don't think it would take much to rid cancer of a society that you made. That seems like a pretty bad fault in the plan.
No, because when someone dies of cancer, that they're born again into eternal life. So,
but why even let them live then? Why even give them a moment on Earth to remove the moment?
Because God is using the universe and all, like all of history and everything in existence is God revealing his attributes and properties to us. So like without the fall and the sin, there's no cross of Jesus, and without Jesus, there's no revelation of God's self-sacrificial love for us. So,
But what does sins and all that have to do with children who haven't committed sins?
they have inherited sin. So we all have this sin from Adam inherited.
So then with that caveat, then it's just okay to write off, like, death may happen at any point regardless of intent or anything like that, because we all have an inherited sin from Adam.
Well, what do you mean death can?
Well,
I don't know if
I'm
that-
trying to seek to understand here how, if God has this power to split the sea, why would he also not use those same means of power to remove at a minimum childhood cancer? I guess I'm not understanding, why would God
He did.
born
The
or
whole point
create
of
life
Jesus-
like a child?
Do you not get this? The whole point of Jesus was him defeating death. So now when we die, we're born in eternal life if we believe and have faith in Christ.
I get that, but why would babies
You're
born?
not getting it because
Why
you're
would a
looking at the
baby
world. You're looking
be
at because
unalive?
you're looking at it through your situation where death is the end. He's already defeated the death.
No, it's not
that
the end. I'm
cancer-
trying to understand then. But then why
Dude,
have childhood
you're
cancer?
not trying to
Why
understand.
even
I told you because
I am.
all
You're
of
just
history-
not really
it-
articulating.
God is revealing his attributes and properties. So that their suffering, the child with cancer, their suffering matters and has meaning because of the story of Christ, right? So in your story, in your model of the reality, does the suffering child of cancer, does it mean anything? Does the suffering matter?
In the grand scheme of things, it's terminal. No, it doesn't. Unfortunately, it doesn't matter because there's nothing
Right,
we
so
can
why
do.
are you bitching about this? Nothing matters in your view. There's no meaning.
I'm trying to understand. I'm trying to understand.
You're trying to understand
Well,
what?
I mean, if
That
you want
I
people
wanna
to
believe?
understand your
well, here's what you
argument.
can understand.
No.
I want to live in a world where the suffering of the child with cancer has meaning and there's a purpose. Things matter because of God.
Yeah, but you can't explain why it's happening. You're just saying that there's eternal life, so it's okay. But I'm trying to
your
say,
view,
why
it
would,
doesn't
if God
matter.
has that power?
In your view,
no,
your view is even worse because their suffering has no meaning and it doesn't matter. They suffer for nothing. That's your view.
Well, your
Nothing,
view is
nihilism,
God can't intervene.
absurdity,
God
irrationality.
can't intervene. What's irrational is saying God wouldn't intervene.
God didn't
That's
intervene.
irrational.
You just don't like the way God intervened because
By
you're in
killing them.
rebellion and you're a child of Satan. Now go away and burn in hell forever. Okay?
You're cute. You're funny.
Burn,
In
bitch. Welcome, user.
Hi.
What would you like to say?
Was
What? I don't know. Your mic's not working. I can't.
around.
Bigfoot is real. I've seen him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a big foot for you. Yeah, I lose again. Always lose. Why doesn't God intervene and help the child with cancer? Have you heard of Jesus dying on the cross for everyone with sin who is perishing can be born eternal life? How is that not helping the child with cancer? Duh. Come on, man. Of course he helps the child. And then Bigfoot wants to join the panel again. Nah, dude. If you want to compare God to Bigfoot, this is not the debate for you. There's a bunch of low-tier debates on TikTok. Go to all those debates. They'll let you They'll let you say all your crazy shit and they won't kick you. I can't listen to a nut job rant and ramble. I can't do it, dude. I'd rather read a book. I'm sorry. You bore me. I'm bored, right? Every day it's just the same crap. Lying, dodging, pivoting, prevarication, obfuscation. What do you mean by that? What's the argument for that? Dude, this stuff is not that complicated. It's obvious. You're clearly suppressing the truth and unrighteousness, because whenever we press you on your own view, you instantly fold like a house of cards, because everyone knows that trying to reason without reference to God is absurd and futile. The Bible says this, right? Here, I wrote it down even. Don't believe me? What does the Bible says? Proverbs 14:1. The fool has said in his heart, there is no God. They are corrupt. They have done abominable deeds. There is no one who does good. Proverbs 1:7. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. Fools despise wisdom and instruction. Colossians 2:8. See to it that no one takes you captive through philosophy and empty deception in accordance with human tradition, in accordance with the elementary principles of the world, rather than in accordance with Christ. 1 Corinthians 3:19, for the wisdom of this world is foolishness in the sight of God, for it is written, he is the one who catches the wise in their craftiness. I like Ephesians 4:17. So I say this and affirm in the Lord that you are to no longer walk just as the Gentiles also walk, in the futility of their minds, being darkened in their understanding, excluded from the life of God because of the ignorance that is in them, because of the hardness of their heart. And they, having become callous, have given themselves up to indecent behavior for the practice of every kind of impurity with greediness. Welcome, guest.
Hello.
What would you like to say?
What do you think about The Simpsons?
It's a good cartoon, but I think...
Oh, so you worship the devil? Sounds like somebody worships Satan. You like the Simpsons? And Simpsons Satan.
Only I am allowed to be funny. You're not allowed to be funny.
I'm not trying to be funny. Just
Remember when Bart
love Satan.
Simpson was a guest on Conan O'Brien, and Conan O'Brien says, only I am allowed to be funny?
It's Brian Griffin. He's from Family Guy. Duh.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. I silenced you really fast. You got humbled, didn't you?
Politically correct humor.
What's
Welcome.
up, bro?
Are you an adult, bro?
I am. I'm a 22-year-old adult. Yes, indeed.
Okay. What would you like to say?
Sure. So I guess I'd like to engage on point 4 or point 2, whichever you're more intrigued by, I suppose, in this comment.
Well, I mean, point 4 is just going to, I mean, they're kind of going to be the same, because I'm going to say that, like, abortion is evil because God say so. You know what I mean? So, like, that's just going to go back to point 2, where you'd have to rationally deny. Because, like, God would be the authority of right and wrong. And if you deny that, then, like, what would be the authority? There is none, you know?
Oh, okay. So, sure, yeah, that makes sense. I would deny the Bible. And I would say that my reasoning would be due to the fact that there isn't enough evidence to point to a God or a supernatural creator of the universe, any intelligent creator. There isn't enough evidence for that to rationally believe in such a thing. And also moral, like, worldviews or moral judgments are, in my understanding of the world, right, are more so like socially advantageous creations that evolved because of humans are designed to work together.
But in that instance, they would not be real.
I don't. So you take moral or morality to be like an objective. You assume it has an objective nature about it. I don't. I don't assume that. I assume that morality is more not necessarily real or objective, but more so subjective, in that it can really only exist in like a mind capable of exhibiting like socially advantageous qualities.
Or like the mind of God.
I don't know what that. I don't know
Well,
what mind of God you're referring to.
well, the God of the Bible, I would be. But should I believe your argument about morality? Hello? Should I believe your argument about morality?
If you believe it, then you believe it. I don't know. I don't know what's in your mind right now. So if you wanted to like oppose my view, then I would love to hear.
Should I get a yes or no?
Oh, sure. Yes, I think that you should think as I do, because I believe my opinions to be rational. So I mean, duh, of course.
You just contradicted yourself, because if it's the case that morals are subjective, you shouldn't say that I should
Really?
believe
I think there are judgments to be made even in a subjective, setting. So like let's
no,
take
but they don't apply to other people. They would just apply to you.
not necessarily. So
Yes, necessarily.
okay, let me explain why not. Let me explain. So let's do an analogy. So the game of chess, the rules and the concept of the game of chess are arbitrary in some sense, as in you can add or subtract rules from the game and they can be recognized and accepted, and then therefore it would be the way to play chess. And so taking
We're not
that
obligated to follow those. There's no obligation to follow those rules.
right. So if you wouldn't follow the rules of chess, if they're like the widely accepted and the standard rules, then you just simply wouldn't be playing chess. You would be playing
That's
something
not
else.
true.
Yeah.
The when we look at games
So
like American football, right? They change the rules all the time, but it's still the same game.
So when you say the rules are like changed all the time and yet the game is still the same, you do accept that the game has evolved or like has like mutated in some sense and transformed into a new concept, right?
It still retains the identity of football, even though they
Okay,
change
sure. So it can retain the identity of football, but why does it do that? So like if a small city, like if I was born in Cleveland, right? If a small town like Cleveland said, "Hey, in my town, we think that football is just basketball. So we're just going to call basketball football now, and that's what we accept it to be." And you're just assigning the term to the condition, and that's not going to be accepted because
You're making a category there here. Because like there's Bobby Fischer, he's like a famous chess player.
Yeah.
He advocated for changing the rules of chess.
Sure.
He thought chess would be boring.
Right.
So like
memorization. That's kind of like the point I was making, like the beginning point. I would love to finish it actually.
But no one argues that we should change the laws of logic. No one does that.
So not necessarily what I'm arguing either, right? So what you're saying, like the rules of the game could change. I totally agree with you. The rules are semi-arbitrary. The rules are simply there to guide us towards an objective, a goal, right? So in my worldview, morality's goal is well-being.
To say there's a goal, that's begging the question. A goal would mean that there's when you say there's a goal, you're saying there's something we should aim towards, like there's an obligation. But that's what's in question. Where do you get the obligation? What authority would obligate me towards this goal?
Right. So there's not necessarily like an authority that needs to tell you what to do. It's more so just like what are the objective results of committing an action? Like what are the consequences?
If there's no authority that obligates
it's coming
me.
from, I guess you could say the authority in my understanding would be like the reality of the situation. So like what are the actual outcomes of an
When
action?
you say I should listen to your argument, You're implying there's some authority that would obligate me to listen to your argument.
Not at all.
So
You obviously aren't a good
okay,
listener, so
okay.
you feel no obligation to listen
That's what
regardless.
these are what words mean, and so you're just being incredibly deceptive with your use of language. So now
Deceptive in what
I don't
way?
want to talk to you because you're just a liar.
Right, okay, buddy.
Okay.
Great talk. You're
Yeah.
terrible. You're terrible.
Okay. I don't want to talk to someone that's like you're blatantly contradicting yourself. When you say morals are a social construct, you're saying they're not real. And then when you say I should agree to your argument, you're instantly going against the idea that morals are a social construct because now you're saying that there's some objective authority that would obligate me to reason the way you reason in your argumentation. But you just denied any like objective moral authority. So you're just contradicting yourself. You want to have your cake and eat it too. And that puts me at a disadvantage in the discussion because I'm trying to be honest and you're committed to lying because you're a child of Satan. The father of all lies is your daddy. So you want to sit here and lie to me and act like you're in the debate. You're not even in the debate. It's a skill issue.
Hey, how's it going?
I do be fine. Are you an adult?
Yes, I'm 24 years old, US.
Okay. What would you like to say?
So you said that they're children of Satan. So who exactly is Satan to you?
Satan was formerly God's highest ranking angel, the archangel, and he led a rebellion in heaven against God, and now he is attempting to thwart God's plan for humanity and tempt us into the pit of hell with him, which he will eventually go.
Okay, well, I'm still confused because Satan isn't a name, it's a title. It means it basically means it's an opposition. Like
No.
anybody technically can be a Satan. Satan in Hebrew is somebody who's not like who's against you. So again, like who exactly is Satan?
That's not correct.
Yeah, exactly. It's from a Hebrew word. It means adversary. So who is Satan? What was his name? As you said, he was an archangel, right? What was his God-given name?
Well, he's known as like Lucifer, right?
You're asking me, or is that an answer?
His God-given name?
Yes, you said he was an archangel. So what archangel was he?
There's only one he's the archangel. There's one archangel.
There's Archangel Michael, but you said that he was the archangel before he fell. So what was his name before he became quote unquote Satan?
Why do I have to know all this stuff off the top of my head?
You don't have to know it, but if you're arguing that the Bible is 100% true, then you have to at least know A, that Satan is a title for adversary, and B, what Satan's God-given name was.
It has nothing to do with my argument. My argument is about...
Yes, it does, because you're saying the Bible is 100% true, so you need to know your facts.
Okay, well, I don't understand, like, what makes you think you have the authority to tell me what my argument needs and doesn't need? Who gave you
I don't. I was just asking you a question.
Well, why are you...
answered that question with a question.
But it's, like, stupid to ask, like...
It's stupid to ask questions. Okay, got it.
Yes, because like I'm not.
Yes, okay. You literally said it's stupid to ask questions when this is a debate live. So
Yeah,
if you can't handle people asking you questions, then why are you having a debate live?
It's not a debate. It's just asking me questions is not a debate. It's like you're acting like I'm an expert on the Bible and asking.
I'm not. I'm quite the
Why
opposite.
you?
I never asked. I
what
never
is-
asked you.
Why
any-
would you ask me a question on the Bible unless I'm like?
Okay, this is what you're saying. Why would you ask me a question on a topic that I'm debating? Like, do you hear yourself, dude? Do you hear yourself?
I'm not claiming to know everything about the Bible and be a Bible scholar. That's not my
Okay, but if
area.
you don't know
I'm not a
that's the
Bible
basic fact that
scholar. I'm not.
Satan in Hebrew means
It's
adversary.
not.
I never said you were
Oh
an
my
expert. I
God.
never said you were an expert. Never, 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 never. I
But
asked
I
you who
don't.
is
I
Satan.
don't. I'm
I
not a
asked you
Bible
a question.
scholar. I'm not a Bible.
I get it. You
So
you just said that like 30 times.
asking? Why don't you ask a Bible scholar that question? That's a question for a Bible. I'm
Because
here
you're
to
saying
debate.
that other people, that
I'm
human
here
beings
to
are children of
debate.
Satan.
You have an art.
You're
Oh my
saying that
God.
you're saying that other people are children of Satan, so you have to identify who actually is Satan. You said that Satan was an archangel. I'm asking you, what was Satan's archangel name that was given to him by your God Yahweh or Yahweh?
Okay. And you're asserting I have to do something. Why
Because
are
you
you? Why are you?
stated that
Why
Satan,
you're a
that the
tyrant?
character of Satan
You're
was an
oppressing me.
archangel before.
Why?
Again,
Why are you?
yeah,
Why are you?
exactly,
Why are you
Ariana. Do you
oppressing
read the
me?
source material as
Am
much
I
as you
your
open your
slave?
mouth?
Am I your slave?
Literally never said that.
You're literally
Literally
bossing me
never
around.
said that.
You're oppressing me like a tyrant. You're oppressive. You're telling me I
Okay,
have to
so
do these
I'm
things.
oppressing because I asked you a question
Can
about
I-
something that you're
okay.
debating right now.
Satan,
Okay.
listen to
God,
me.
Christians, you people have such a
Okay,
victim complex
relax.
just because you can't answer a
Relax.
simple question.
Okay,
Dude, you were the
tyrant.
one that was just freaking out on me for asking who is Satan.
It's a
I
dumb
literally just
question.
asked you who is Satan and you couldn't answer, and now you're pissed because you don't know the answer.
Satan is a title, but it refers to a real person. So,
And I simply
can
asked,
I talk
what
now?
was
Can I
Satan?
talk?
What
Can I
was
talk?
Satan's name?
Can I talk?
Who was
Can I
who was
talk?
the archangel? Who was the archangel?
Satan is his name.
So Satan was his name always. So he was created by God as Satan. Like that's what he named him. He named him adversary.
Mm-hmm.
So
devil.
God named his first
The
his
Bible
very first
uses
angel
there's
archangel
many
adversary.
names for the being of Satan, right? The devil, the tempter, the prince of this world, but it all refers to one person. They're not separate titles for a concept. So the multiplicity of titles for Satan emphasizes the variety of his works, not the non-existence of his person, right? Because that's how it works. You got it?
No, because you're literally not
Why?
answering the question. Because
What's the
you're
question?
contradicting yourself because you said that he was an archangel.
What's
Thank you, Orange,
was-
for the flowers.
How is that a contradiction?
Because you're saying, okay, so you said that he was created as an archangel, right? So right
Mm-hmm.
now, as of your Christian canon or whatever, there's Archangel Michael. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. So before that, you're saying that Satan was created as the archangel. So God created, in your words, God created Satan as an archangel.
Yes.
My question right now, why would he create an angel with the title Satan as an adversary?
Well, he would have achieved the title when he rebelled, right? Because what would you call someone who rebels? An adversary, right?
I would call him a rebel.
Okay. Why are you being argumentative?
This is a debate live. Do you know what a debate is?
Yeah. What's your argument for the you can debate without standing on the Bible? What's your foundation for this debate?
My foundation for this debate is that you haven't read the freaking Bible. I've read the Bible front to back 7 times.
It's not an answer to my
Okay,
question.
and I've read the Hebrew translation. I know about the Bible.
What grounds logic?
What's your question?
I believe Jesus makes logic real. If you don't believe in Jesus, what makes logic real?
It's none of your business, but I actually do believe in Jesus. I'm just not a Christian. I don't identify as a modern Christian.
Do you
Because
believe
modern
Jesus
Christians are
makes
hypocrites.
logic real? Do you believe Jesus makes logic real?
That makes absolutely no sense. What are you talking
Okay,
about?
you're not ready
What
for
first
the
of all,
debate.
what is logic to you?
You're not ready for the debate.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing well.
What's your name?
P Mars.
P Mars. I'm Jeremy. Nice to meet you. I got one question to ask you, man. I got one.
Oh, great. What?
Do you know the good news? What is the good news?
Burn in hell.
Hi.
Hello.
I don't have nothing to debate. I just want to say I love what you're doing, and this is all true. Thank you.
Oh, man, thanks. Well,
Yo, what's up?
I prove the Bible is true.
Me?
I prove the Bible's true on my
Oh.
level.
All right. Well, I came up here to debate that.
Yes. So I do the transcendental argument for God. Where like you would say it's possible that there is no God, right?
Right.
But then that would imply that there's a realm of possibility in a sense that would determine whether there's a God or not.
Okay.
So you're saying there's some standard of possibility that you would use to say if there's a God.
Well, let me ask you this.
I'm trying to prove God though.
Okay, well, let me ask you this. Would you rather crack a dude? Would you rather crack a dude or crack a minor?
All right.
Gun to your head, you have to pick one.
I would just say like good luck burning in hell. Jeez Lord. Welcome, neighbor.
Do you believe in God?
I do, and you do as well.
Yeah, yes, I do. But you just kicked me off the live. You told me to burn in hell, which I was just asking you to spread the good news.
Yeah, I spread the bad news that you're going to hell.
Oh, all right.
People need to hear the bad news in order to understand why they need the good news. But people just want, these Christians are like cowards and they don't want to tell people the bad news. They just want to tell people the good news because they're cowards. Welcome, neighbor.
Hey, what's up, man?
I prove the Bible's true in my life.
Oh, you?
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's debate about that, okay?
Okay. So your position would be that it's possible that there is no God.
Yeah.
So you're saying that there's this standard of possibility, and that God would be like subordinate to that standard. But if God existed, God would dictate what's possible. You see what I'm saying?
Okay, well, here's my proposition. Would you rather get a good or bad hand job from your grandma?
Okay. This is atheism.
Hello, Mars.
Hello.
So you believe in the transcendental argument for God, don't you?
Believe in it. It's demonstrably a proof of God.
How do you demonstrate that? Okay, actually, before you answer that, let me ask you this. Did you use your reasoning to conclude that God exists?
Yes.
So then your reasoning must be trustworthy before you invoked God. But you are the presupposition king, so...
Yeah, so there'd be like approximate starting point where I approximately start with my reason and then like my sense data, and God would be the ultimate starting point. And then the method is I just accept his word.
But how could you start with God before you used your reason to conclude that he existed?
Because the starting point, the method, and the conclusion are all reciprocal. Where I start with my own mind, the method is I accept God's word in the Bible, and the conclusion is God is the ultimate, um, the ultimate reference point or the ultimate authority or something like that.
But you're presupposing that, right?
Yeah, everyone is presupposing something.
Right, but how does that prove that God exists if my presupposition can be just as valid as yours, if not more?
No,
Yeah, because you're assuming there's only God or chaos, right?
it's either a Christian or a non-Christian worldview, and the non-Christian worldview reduces to absurdity every time.
But how can you demonstrate that to me?
Because you can think of it as like a matter of authority. So in the non-Christian system, there'd be no Supreme Court to settle disputes. So the debates would be arbitrary. You know, notice how like secular philosophers, they never really get anywhere.
No.
Well, they all disagree. Like some of them are monists, some of them are atomists, and they argue about like which one is true, which orientation is true, but their arguments are always inconclusive. They can never definitively say that, oh, monism is the case, or no, that atomism is the case. Their arguments are always inconclusive because they have no final authority.
So that Christianity has philosophical disagreements as well.
Yeah, but in Christianity, there's a final authority to settle the dispute. We can go to God's word in Scripture. Excuse me. Need to get some water. So basically, when we compare our presuppositions, your presuppositions make debate arbitrary because there's no final authority to settle any dispute, where my presuppositions provide for an authority that makes the debate meaningful and objective. So that's how we demonstrate the Christian worldview with a certainty, right? Because since the Christian worldview supplies the facts that are necessary to experience anything, and since truth can't be contradictory,
No, because now you've just instantly presupposed there, right?
We all presuppose.
But you're just replacing my presupposition with yours. So you actually have no authority on this.
Well, your view would be parasitic on my view. Like you have to assume Christian presuppositions to even. Sure, you do. Because when you talk, you assume that the future resembles the past, and only Christian presuppositions can account for that belief. That's truth statement. So your view is parasitic on my view. Every time you talk, you demonstrate my view.
But how could you say that when you've already, I mean, your worldview is based on a book, right?
Right.
Mine isn't. Mine's on like demonstrable evidence or testing. So how can you say that my worldview is parasitic on yours? I'm not going to your book for answers.
To have demonstrable evidence and testing, you have to use Christian metaphysics. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to demonstrate anything.
No, but you're instantly just presupposing again.
I'm not presupposing. Testing presupposes that
you're presupposing the Christian God.
You're presupposing that a test, whenever you demonstrate something, you presuppose that the future resembles the past, but that's only true on Christian presuppositions. So you stand on the Bible every time you do one of your science tests, or every time you speak, every time you do anything, you stand on the Bible.
Well, no, because evidence is what you see in reality. It's not from what the Bible or God would tell us.
Where do you see in reality that the future resembles the past?
Well, you can look at patterns.
Can you look into the future?
No, but you can get a good idea of what could possibly happen.
There you go. You just contradicted yourself.
How did I contradict myself?
Because you can't observe the future, but you believe the future will resemble the past, but you never observe the
No,
future.
I said there's patterns in which you can look at the patterns and you can have
Sir,
an assumption of what's going
do
to happen.
you believe that the words you use in the future resemble the words you use in the past? Of course you do. Everyone does.
Okay.
Okay, and that belief, you can't observe the future. So your belief has to use Christian metaphysics, where God, who can observe the future, reveals to us in the Bible that the future will resemble the past, so we can
So
know it.
and you're trying to tell me you're not
You're too
presupposing God?
immature. You're too immature.
Pima.
Oh, and by the way, you're going to hell.
I think we should avoid the word presuppose and say our starting metaphysical commitments.
That guy's just super immature. But I don't think they know. If I say starting metaphysical commitments, that'll like it won't register in his brain as mean. He won't even understand what I'm saying either. So
Okay, fine. Our foundational commitments about reality.
Yeah, that's good. How about
the word presupposition?
The facts of
used it. The way Van Til used it, he was clear, but even fellow Christian theologians, philosophers misconstrued what he means by that, and likewise, unbelievers even more so misconstrue that.
How about I was thinking the facts of experience, like the facts necessary for experience.
We both have a model of reality with foundational commitments from which all things depend.
Yeah, I explained that to them, but they don't care.
Well, they just ignore what they want to ignore. They're not sincere. They're not critical.
They ignore what you say and they wait for their turn to talk, and then they just assert their position as if it's true. That's all they do.
That's why there's no reason to take them seriously.
No. Because it's like someone denying that they're breathing air, like Bonson always would say, right?
What's up, bro?
He laughs at me. What would you like to say?
I'm debating on. I don't think God's real.
So you're saying it's possible there is no God?
I'm saying it's possible.
Right. So if it's possible there's no God, that would imply that there's some like standard of possibility that God must submit himself to. Does that make sense to you?
No, it doesn't make sense either.
You're just gonna ignore what I said, right?
Yeah, if you talk about God possibly or not possibly existing, this is a category error.
All right. I think this Darth guy graduated from
Possibility
Reddit,
and impossibility does not apply to God because God is not characterized as a contingent being. Possibility and impossibility is subject to background information as to what's static and non-static.
I can hear the neckbeard.
You can hear what?
I'm not debating you.
I'm calling you a neckbeard.
Yeah, I can. So
okay, goodbye, little boy. Goodbye.
You're gay.
See you later. Bye.
Kick me if you're gay. Kick me if you're gay.
Bye.
Yeah, that's what Ian would say. This guy was already up here. You can talk to him. You can destroy him.
Yeah, PMars, why did you follow me the other day?
Because I like to follow liars and frauds. So if I see you on a
Are you sure? Is it because I'm gay and you want to get up in my cakes?
Oh my goodness, dude.
You want to sin with me?
All right, I'm gonna block him.
I'll just kick him.
See, this is very integral to many skeptics. Their immaturity.
It's technically
they're extremely immature.
It's the best argument for atheism if you wanna do stuff like that last guy. Atheism is definitely the belief system for you.
See, atheism is just a figment of their imagination because they do not want to acknowledge the obvious that the world overwhelmingly appears to be designed with the impossibility of its negation.
They act like teenagers that are rebelling against their parents. That's what they act like.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's the kind of mentality. I finished the book, The Great Debate.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
So you finished it before I did, so I gotta finish that.
I'm better than you.
You are, and I'm going to hell.
You finished the Darwin book, though, in between.
Yeah.
Yo, bro, you still haven't answered my question.
Yeah, fix your microphone. You sound like you're in stall number 6 at the McDonald's bathroom.
I said you still haven't answered my question.
I don't know.
I said, did you hear what I said? Your microphone is awful. You need to fix it.
Can you answer my question?
Goodbye. Okay.
Are you
Bye
kicking
bye,
me?
little boy. Obviously,
you-
mommy and daddy never taught you how to get along with people.
You know, I've been doing this thing where instead of kicking them, I ask them to leave on their own free will, like a mature adult. And I'm like, please don't make me treat you like a child and kick you. Can you just act like an adult and leave on your own free will, please?
That's good. I like that. Excellent. Excellent. Can I steal that from you?
Yeah.
I'm going to steal that.
Think about it. Like, if someone's in your home and you ask them to leave, isn't it weird for them to just stay there? Like, who does? And basically, my live is sort of like an extension of my home, right? It's my live. So if I ask someone to leave, you think a normal person would leave, and it just really exposes what like a warped degenerate in their thinking pattern.
Yeah. I have to go into radio silence for a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, well, here, I'll read some of the good stuff I got from the Great Debate. I thought this was excellent. So, the non-Christian says that it's possible that there is no God. He is saying and implying that the realm of possibility, in a sense, is the backdrop for whether there's a God or not. He has this realm of possibility, and one possibility is that there is no God. Van Til says that if God is the source of possibility, then God is the ultimate backdrop, and all possibilities are resolved in what he says are possible. Another way of illustrating it is by personifying possibility as an existing standard by which all facts are deemed possible or impossible. For example, the idea of a square circle is subordinate to the standard of possibility, and possibility says that such an entity is an impossibility. The non-Christian looks up to this standard of possibility and says that God also is subject to the higher standard. God is not recognized as the ultimate standard for what is and isn't possible. He is a contingent, lesser being which, illustrated as a building, would at best leave him as the second to top floor, with possibility looking down on and reigning above him on the top floor. So in other words, this to say that God possibly exists is to say there's this standard of possibility that God is subject to that. But that wouldn't make sense, because if God were to exist, God would dictate what's possible. Possibility would flow from God's omnipotence. And so it's the non-Christians making a category error to say it's possible God exists or it's possible God doesn't exist. Welcome, neighbor.
What is a human?
What is a human? That which is featherless and bipedal.
How?
What?
What is a human, bro? Just answer the question.
That which is featherless and bipedal.
No, come, bro.
What do you mean? Do you have feathers?
No.
Well, then what's wrong with that?
Bro, I'm asking, what's a human? What's the definition?
Are you bipedal and featherless?
No.
No, you're not bipedal.
No. What's a human?
Are you crippled?
No.
Why the hell aren't you bipedal? What's wrong with you?
I don't know, man. That's a great question.
You're heteropedal?
Maybe.
Creepy.
Yeah.
How's that
All right.
lifestyle treating you?
All right, but what's it called? Can you answer my question though, please?
I did answer your question, and so now what you're
No,
doing?
you didn't. But, like, just search up the definition of a human.
Okay,
Like,
I
just
feel
tell me.
like this is abuse. We're having an abusive
What?
relationship now.
Come on, bro. Come on.
Well, you're telling me
I'm trying to.
I remember answering your question, and you're telling me I didn't answer your question. That's abuse, brother. And your microphone was awful. I should have kicked him for his microphone. So what you're telling me is that they believed unaliving somebody or unaliving something to worship God. What? Oh. Leave it to a non-believer to take something like the self-sacrificial love of Jesus and turn it into a mockery. The non-believers could take the most beautiful thing in the world and make it ugly because of their orientation on reality is ugly. Welcome, neighbor.
Yeah, what's up?
I prove the Bible's true. 100.
That's good. Can you, because I can see prompt number 3 on your thing, and
Yes.
can you just read Leviticus 25 verse 39 to
Oh,
46?
do you know that Leviticus 25 is not like an ethical book? It's a book about how Israel would structure and organize their society. So why don't we read the books on ethics, like Leviticus 19? Or wait, that would go against
No,
your false narrative. That would go against your false
no,
narrative.
no.
Oh, you don't. So we'll just ignore the verses that go against your false narrative. Is that what you want to do? Because you don't
No,
want
I
the
want you
narrative
to
to
read
be.
Leviticus 25 verse
Yeah, but
39
what
to
Leviticus
46.
25 isn't about ethics. Leviticus 25 is
25.
yes, but why not read about their ethics, not a book about how they structure their society?
What do you mean? The book
Leviticus
about? How do you know
19
it's about?
talks
How do you
about
know it's about
there are
ethics? How do you know
some
it's
laws
about
are
ethics?
ethical laws and some laws are laws and how they structure their society. When we look at
Night.
Leviticus
What is the
19, which is a book on ethical laws, it would forbid slavery ethically. So what do you got
Show
to say
some
about
fruits of the
that,
spirit.
intellectual tough guy?
Stop shouting. Show
Yeah,
some
what do you got
fruits
to
of the
say,
spirit.
intellectual tough guy?
hey,
Show some
night?
fruits of the spirit.
Night. What is the Hebrew word that is translated as slave in the 20th century translations?
Evet.
Yeah. And what is the meaning of that word?
Slave.
No.
That's why it's translated as slave.
Okay, sir. You're either very ignorant or you're a blatant liar. The word Eved means a servant. It is a neutral term and can only be understood or translated correctly depending on the context. Now,
Is a servant someone you
so
own and
listen
pass down as
carefully.
property?
I'm a
Is a servant
co-host
someone
here.
you own
I
and
don't want
pass
to have
down
to
as
kick
property? I don't
you.
give a shit who you are.
Goodbye. You guys are mentally ill. You're mentally and spiritually ill. We try to have an adult interaction, and you guys immediately descend into a psychotic, verbal fest. Okay, you guys really are definitely mentally ill.
They're fraud, fake debaters. They're not interested in debate. They're interested in just preaching,
Can you hear me now?
grandstanding,
Long time viewer, first time
asserting their
debater, guys. What's
opinion.
up?
No one responds to any argument we make. It's amateur hour. TikTok amateur hour. They're fake fraud debates.
You know something? Even that's not accurate.
They're children of Satan, committed to lies. of their father, the devil. That's the real antithesis. You're either a child of Jesus or you're a child of Satan. That's the real antithesis. But Christians don't want to talk about that because that's not nice. But that's the truth. Hello, welcome.
How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
That's good. I'm doing well also.
Great.
So
Did you mute him?
Did I? I don't know.
I don't know. You muted.
my bad. So I have a question. Like, are you guys Christian or like y'all believe in something else?
We're Christian, Bible believing Christians.
Oh, okay, never mind that. No, I just thought like you guys were Catholic or something, cause like people say Catholic Baptists are like the same thing as Christians, but like Christianity is way different than Catholic because Catholic believes in like Mary and Jesus. Like you just gotta believe in Jesus because.
Yeah, we agree. We're on the same page.
So yeah, I'm gonna just leave because I thought you guys were like something.
Okay, I'm gonna have to make it more clear. Maybe like non-Christians don't request up. I should put it on there or something. All right. Well, have a good night, man. Good luck.
You too.
Oh, what's going on, guys? I'm on panel. What, Darth Dawkins? What's going on, man? Big fan. Big fan.
What would you like to say?
Yeah, I have a new epistemological theory and reasons theory in the moral domain and epistemic domain. So here's the theory: something is moral or counts in favor as a reason if and only if Charlie Kirk counterfactually would sign off on it. So Charlie
Dude,
Kirk's model of justification.
your microphone is awful. You need to fix it. If you
And
don't
you're
fix your
old,
microphone,
and you're very old, and you suck ass at debate.
Right. We suck ass at debate by what objective standard? By your standard, I bet you're great at debate. By your own standard, I bet you're probably the best debater by your standard, aren't you? What are you eating? Darth sounds like he's eating something.
I am eating some peanuts, cashews, and almonds.
Did you say you're eating penis?
Oh my gosh.
That's expected.
Only I am allowed to be funny. That's a rule, okay?
It wasn't funny.
Well, they're not even if they were, that's worse. Because, like, if my guests are more funny than me, that's going to make it, like, me look not funny. Welcome, neighbor.
Yo.
What would you like to say?
I don't know. I mean, I think the hypotheses that were here previously were very justified. I don't know.
What?
The previous hypotheses that were posited by the previous guests were based.
Do me a favor. Go out to your local dollar store and spend $6 and get a decent microphone.
Why?
This guy's not going to last.
Why does my name say Oren?
Hey.
Must be a glitch. That's a guy you blocked.
Gary. How are you doing, Gary?
Fucking weirdos. What do you think? So now I need a new book to read. I was thinking like Dominion because this stupid slavery issue keeps popping up. And I figure if I read Dominion, that might help me deal with the slavery thing better, you know? What do you think?
I'm sorry, I was chomping on some almonds and I wasn't paying attention.
So I finished The Great Debate. I need a new book. I'm thinking Dominion because the slavery issue, everyone brings up slavery. So I think Dominion would help. I could probably get some good.
I remember some atheists had a very violent, emotional, violent reaction to the book. Oh, I remember who it was. It's
Boston, I think.
It's this
Maybe.
guy with a goatee. No, there's a guy who has a YouTube channel. His name it's called The Way of the Mister, and he thinks he's funny, and he does these videos instead of The Way of the Master. It's The Way of the Mister, and he does all of these attack videos on Christianity, and he's just your run of the mill, worse than amateur atheist in terms of his metaphysical reasoning. And I think that was him who he had a fit about the book Dominion.
Yeah. I've heard it's a good book. So, I don't know. The slavery thing is always coming up. I think I'm going to read it next.
Did you get it? Did you get an electronic copy? I think you got it from me,
Yeah.
didn't you?
Maybe. I know I got one.
Oh, I think you got it from me.
I think I told you about the book, and then you got it.
That's correct.
Yeah, so I think I'm gonna read that. I did basic theology. That was good. And then I had to do the great debate because I don't know, it sounds kind of lame, but the great debate, I like cried at the part where like people were talking about how like amazing that debate was and how like inspirational it was so in their lives and stuff. Because like it's nice that like you think your whole life that we can't really prove God exists with certainty, and then when you realize we can, it's kind of like
This is how stupid they are. They sit there and want to go, well, it's a slave.
yeah, it's a word.
And it's like, well, forced captivity is punishable by death. So how do you have chattel slavery when kidnapping is punishable by death, and any servant can leave anytime anyone he's serving and cannot be forced to be returned? So how do you have slavery?
Well, they're cherry picking, obviously.
They're just capitalizing on the unfortunate choice of the translators to use the word slave.
When we look at Leviticus 19:33, when a foreigner resides among you in your land, do not mistreat them. The foreigner residing among you must be treated as your native born. Love them as yourself, for you were foreigners in Egypt. I am the Lord your God. And in Egypt, what happened? They had forced captivity, and they were treated very badly. So this is literally saying, don't do what the Egyptians did, right? So how could you have slavery? It makes no sense.
Yeah, I know. They don't care.
They don't care. Josh Bowen, in his book, he ignores the whole theological aspect. Like, when you read the word property, it only sounds bad if you ignore the theology, where that ultimately all humans are the property of Yahweh, and a human
Property means is that you own
the contract.
their contractual duty to serve you. That's what it's referring to.
If you understand their theology, theologically, Yahweh would be their owner, and so you couldn't, like, it wouldn't make sense theologically to own another person.
Do you know? Listen, in the golden Hollywood years, people would sign a contract to work for a studio. Okay, and the studio owned their service. Okay, in exchange for a fee, they signed a contract. Now,
If they didn't abide by the contract, they could be sued. So the actors and the actresses were, in a sense, the property of the studios in that they owned their contractual obligation for service. Okay?
Or like
Like,
my uncle,
yeah.
he's an engineer, you know, and so it says in his contract the company owns all intellectual property that he would create, right? So if he goes on home on his own time and invents something, right, as an engineer, the company would own the rights to whatever he invents because they're contracted to his intellectual property, right? So kind of like a similar thing. These are just like business contracts, basically, where the what's being contracted is the person's labor would be the property, not the person's like body or their soul or something. And there's nothing to stop. They always bring up the fact that they have different rules for foreign and domestic workers. Well, we have that in America too. That's normal. And that even a foreigner, I think, could be grafted into the nation of Israel. There's no law to prevent a foreigner from becoming an Israelite. Welcome, neighbor.
Hey, thank you for the welcome.
What would you like to say?
Could I be unmuted, please? I like talking in the chat.
No, because you're lying in the chat.
How am I lying?
You were characterizing what we were saying was mumbo jumbo, which is a lie.
Well, I personally believe that the Bible is it's a bunch of mythology. It's just mythos of the Hebrews.
That's a fringe.
Is that okay? Is that judgment authoritative?
I wouldn't say that I'm passing judgment or trying to say something negative about the Bible. It's more,
Is that a picture of you?
Yeah, that's me.
Okay. Why do you have the mind of a 14-year-old?
I'll just drop. I didn't come here to be insulted. Thank you so much.
Well,
Have a
I'm
great day.
insulting you because you deserve it. Did you not just say everything we said was mumbo jumbo? Wasn't that an insult?
Or to say Jesus is a myth is an insult.
Yeah, wasn't that an insult to say that rather than disagreeing substantively with the content of what we're saying, you go, "Oh, it's mumbo jumbo." That's not an insult.
You don't have to take it as an insult.
No, it doesn't matter what I'm taking it as. It was intended to be insulted, was it not? This is how dumb you are. Now, when you reject the biblical content as a worldview, okay, and you do not accept the biblical model of reality represented in the confines of the Bible, then you are claiming to make implicitly an authoritative statement that the Bible is not what it represents itself to be, correct?
I believe that the people are just taking something that's clearly mythology and forcing themselves to believe it's reality.
Are you a 15-year-old little boy with a beard? I just asked you a question, and what came out of your mouth bore no resemblance to the question I asked.
Right.
Yeah. You didn't answer my question.
What was your question?
When you reject the biblical narrative as it speaks of itself self-referentially, that all that it affirms is true, it's a historical narrative, and God guided the authors of the Bible to write his exact message, thereby the Bible being the word of God. Now, when you reject it in terms of its own self-referential claim that it speaks authoritatively, and you reject that, then implicitly you are claiming to make an authoritative judgment that it is not speaking authoritatively, correct?
Well, I don't feel myself to be an authority, so I don't see myself.
Okay, you are very stupid, and you are a 15-year-old with a beard. Goodbye. Notice again, he doesn't answer the question.
I'm not making a claim.
Yeah. Absolutely amazing.
I'm doing an internal critique where I don't actually assume your position and I strawman you. This is atheism.
These people really are dumb.
I'm telling you, they don't.
And by the way, I don't impugn him for being dumb just because I don't like what he said. I'm saying he's dumb because he really is dumb.
People understand maybe basic science stuff, and then they have no knowledge of like how to demonstrate something beyond that at all. That's it. So they come to the debate with this naive empiricism. And that's all they know. They don't know. They've never challenged themselves beyond naive empiricism. Because then we get into some uncomfortable truths. Once you start to realize that the foundations of empiricism are built on sand.
That's above their thinking pay grade.
When I was reading the end of the Great Debate, it made me realize about how we actually disagree on what the problems are. Like the things that we identify as problems, they don't even think are problems. So it's like we end up talking past each other. Like they think the problem of induction isn't a problem. They honestly think this. I have multiple of them tell me that, oh, there's a way around the problem of induction and all this stuff. Right? We've got to.
Well, they're either ignorant or they're liars.
Usually it's both, right?
The 15-year-old with the beard wants to come back up.
I mean, if you want to talk to him, I don't care. But
He's no longer requesting. You know, his mom and dad should not allow him to have a beard at 15.
I'm kind of like getting sick of these immature people. I've been getting so many immature people that.
Look, even the Phil Bros are grossly immature.
Yeah.
Just think of all the Phil Bros on Discord that we know of by name. Is there a mature one of them?
What's the argument that logic needs to be real?
What's the inference role?
On what modal scope?
Welcome, Zay. Are you an atheist, and how old are you?
Everything on here is a lie.
Did you hear my question?
No.
Okay, well then maybe you should listen more. Okay.
Well, first of all, I said something before you, but
are you a woman?
Okay, so.
Duh.
Right.
How old
Yeah, that's
are
a
you?
child.
Yeah, I can't
No,
tell.
it's a child.
Sometimes, like, women can sound like a child.
Not that much.
No, I think that was a child, but I have a hard time telling sometimes.
Hey, Darth, how come you never debate people when you're not a moderator?
I go into streams all the time
No,
and debate people. Okay, sir, if you lie about me, then I will block your account.
You are a power tripping mod.
Okay, goodbye. Don't lie about me, okay? I regularly go onto other streams where I don't have mods, okay? Isn't it amazing how much amnesia they have for the bad behavior that I have to deal with?
Alex O'Connor just put out a video. It's already got 100,000 views in less than like 10 hours. The title is, "I've realized Christianity is more plausible than I thought," which is the exact misunderstanding and category error we were just talking about.
Yeah, he doesn't understand. He's very intelligent, but he doesn't understand his metaphysical error.
He needs to shave his mustache. That is awful.
He looks like a goof with the mustache.
It looks goofy as hell.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of hard to pull off the mustache thing. I don't think a lot of people.
With a face like that.
Yeah, I don't think he should have a mustache. I don't think I could do a mustache either. And you look like a.
I've noticed some of these AI videos doing parodies of movie stars and historical figures. Some of them are very close, and others of them, they're like, it's very clear that it's AI. It's not even close.
There was one that was funny that was like, what if biblical figures had social media? So then it just shows like figures in the Bible like David, and they're like talking like to their cell phone like it's a selfie, you know, like they're doing like they're talking like Gen Z. It's kind of funny.
Well, I'm looking forward to Larry Ellison, the head of Oracle, who now is a major owner, to use his software know-how and his people to make TikTok not a buggy app. Welcome, Expedition. What would you like to say? What would you like to say?
Yeah, so when you say Christianity is necessary for the Transcendentals, what do you mean by Christianity?
It means the Christian worldview that God has given to us from his attributes, and he reveals it.
Yeah, what does that mean?
It means that God has revealed the Christian worldview, both in creation and in special revelation, codified propositionally in the Bible.
Yeah, you're just repeating the same thing that you said when I asked you what is Christianity, so let me make it more specific.
Would you like me to remove you for being a smartass?
No, so I'll be more specific with my
look. Hey, listen, little boy, listen to me. I'm old enough to be your father, if not grandfather. I don't suffer fools who are little smartasses. Okay. Now, are you an atheist?
That's a question.
Okay. Goodbye. See ya.
Wait,
bye,
why do you
yeah,
run away?
go brush your teeth, get your pajamas on, and get ready for bed. Find your teddy bear.
That's a Darth kicking someone off my panel. Oh my gosh.
Welcome, Jack. Are you an atheist, and how old are you?
19. I'm agnostic.
Okay, well, let's get this clear. Agnostics indirectly deny God. You are speaking about the world without reference to the necessity of God. So, in spite of your identity representation that you're neutral, you're in fact indirectly denying God. So we can dispense with the neutrality
Can I have an argument to that?
No, because it's ironclad. It's irrefutable.
No, it is refutable if you let me make
so you can refute the law of excluded middle?
Well, my point is that I'm denying.
If you ignore what I present to you, if you blatantly ignore what I present to you, and then pretend you're responding to that, but you're not.
I am. I have a response. I have a real response.
Goodbye, little boy. Okay. They just cannot control themselves and act like adults.
That guy.
What's that?
Why'd you remove him?
Because he was acting immaturely, and I don't put up with immature behavior.
He was answering you.
No, he wasn't.
Well, hold on a second. Dad, is that you? Dad? Where have you been all these years, Dad?
Yeah, I am your dad. Look at that dick, bitch.
Yeah.
I am your dad. Look at that tranny dick. That's your tranny dick.
Well, that's the atheist mindset.
Yeah, there you go, folks. Atheism on full display.
It proves what Ephesians says, that the Gentiles walk in the futility of their minds, being darkened in their understanding, excluded from the life of God because of the ignorance that is in them, because of the heart.
Oh my goodness, I'm shocked. I don't know what to say. That somebody showed a dirty picture. Oh no, what are we gonna do?
They have become callous, having given themselves up to indecent behavior for the practice of every kind of impurity with greediness. Hey, it seems pretty accurate.
Okay, so Jack, are we going to conduct ourselves more maturely this time?
I don't
Okay,
understand.
good. So when I ask a question, now listen carefully. Okay, because in order for you to refute what I said, you'd have to refute the law of excluded middle. Why?
I don't think I would.
Okay. Have a nice day, Jack. Okay, you're gonna interrupt me while I'm speaking. Bye. I'm sorry.
And his response when he's interrupted was basically, "Have you considered nuh-uh?" Wait, I gotta interrupt you. Nuh-uh.
So says somebody who was kicked off of the stage twice for acting immaturely. Okay.
So when we're talking about you're acting immaturely, it's because, for one, when we make an argument or we ask a question or we say something, you ignore what we say when you respond. It's your turn to talk. You ignore us. That's disrespectful. It shows you don't care about what we're saying. You're not listening, and you're just waiting for your turn to talk.
Mm-hmm.
That's bad behavior.
Look, if you don't conduct yourself maturely, you're gone. You're out of here. Okay? You're not a part of the conversation.
And if you conduct yourself maturely, you will get logically obliterated.
How's it going?
Welcome, Shell. Are you an atheist, and how old are you?
I'm 29, and I'm sort of an atheist.
Okay. Either you acknowledge God or you don't. Which is it?
I don't know.
Okay. Well, when your drunkenness and intoxication is over, please come back and talk to us. Bye. Goodbye. Yeah. Do not accept this person coming up with this avatar.
Proverbs 1:7. Fools despise wisdom and instruction. Well, that seems to be true. How can you argue with that? Where is the wise person? Where is the debater of this age? Has God not made foolish the wisdom of the world? For the wisdom of this world is foolishness in the sight of God, for it is written, He is the one who catches the wise by their craftiness. Second Corinthians 4:4. in whose case the God of this world has blinded the minds of the unbelieving, so that they will not see the light of the gospel of the glory of Christ, who is the image of God. So Satan has blinded your minds. Did you guys know that? That's why you don't believe in a God, which is like obvious. Like anyone, common sense, like dumb people know there's a God, right? You have to be like propagandized in education to become an atheist. Matthew 7:26, and everyone who hears these words of mine and does not act on them will be like a foolish man who built his house on the sand. So Christ is the solid rock that I stand on, and any other position is sinking sand, because your worldview
Okay.
can't count for the metaphysics you use to argue. Welcome, neighbor.
Hello. I have an argument that that agnosticism and atheism are two separate things. I heard Darth saying that they're not earlier. So my argument is that agnosticism is more of the active refutal that
Can you implicitly deny a truth statement?
Well, it's my denial that you have knowledge of
Sir,
rather.
fundamental mistake that you're making is that a mere invocation of self-identification doesn't settle the issue unless the claim itself is in some way self-authenticating. Now, agnosticism is the self-representation of neutrality. But if we examine the self-identification claim in light of transcendental truths, right, it turns out that they're implicitly and indirectly deny God while not formally denying God.
How so?
Can we indirectly deny a proposition?
Yes, but I don't believe that that's what's happening.
So when somebody speaks about the world in whole or in part, hold on a second. Christian Raptor, stop sending an invite. If you send another invite, I'm going to block your account. Okay? So, when you speak about the world, okay, you could say the sky is blue. That proposition or that putative truth statement will either be explicitly or implicitly contextualized, either with reference to the necessity of God or without. Do you understand before I continue?
Okay, sure, yeah.
Now, if you invoke a proposition without reference to the necessity of God, even implicitly, because many of the things that we say to each other all the time are statements that are truncated, and certain background information is implicit but not explicit, because that would make language too tedious. So when you assert that the sky is blue, it will either implicitly reference the necessity of God or be invoked without referencing the necessity of God.
Okay.
So do you, when you
can I
invoke
have a point to that? Can I make a point to that?
No. When you
so why am I even here?
Goodbye, little boy. Goodbye, little boy.
Well, why am I here?
You actually sound like a little boy. Okay, being that I'm 64 years old, I don't put up with impudence. Okay, it's that simple. You don't know what you're talking about. Remember, you're not talking and dealing with people in your peer group. You're talking to somebody who's 3 times your age and just a wee bit smarter and more educated than you. Welcome, Ryder. Are you an atheist, and how old are you?
He's not on. Did you accept him? Or you didn't?
Yeah.
No, you didn't. He's connecting now.
I agree with Joe. Stop sending an invite or your account will get blocked.
I am an atheist. I am 20 years old.
Do you deny the existence of God?
Not entirely. I deny the Bible, though.
No, sir. Either you acknowledge the necessity of God for everything or you don't. Which is it?
I believe in evolution, yeah.
Goodbye. Goodbye, little boy. Maybe you need to go back to 9th grade and learn how to listen, okay, and try to remember a question somebody asked you.
You did get the first question right, at least.
Yeah. No, it's deliberate. Okay.
Yeah, whenever someone doesn't answer your question, they've already answered your question.
Yeah.
They just answered your question.
All right, I'll be back.
All right, I might shut this down. Welcome, neighbor.
Hey, how you guys doing?
What would you like to say?
Yes. So I do believe in there being a God. It's the question of which religion makes more sense. I could say either like Christianity or Islam.
Well, I'd say Christianity isn't necessarily true. It's not about which one makes more sense. Because when we look at the attributes of the Christian God and the attributes of the Muslim God, only the Christian God is perfect. The Muslim God would depend on creation for relationality. You got some like background on your mic or something. I don't know, man. Your mic's really messed up. Welcome, neighbor.
Hello?
Hello. What would you like to say?
Yeah, what's up? How do I say this? I'm not here to like debate you. I just need some answers because I'm also a fellow Christian, right? But
oh yeah,
yeah. So I notice every time I go into other live debates, right, such as some that say Jesus was never real, and like I mentioned my evidence for him being real, right? Why is it that like a good amount of them like always deny it? Like I'll mention how Pontius Pilate, right, had existed. I'm so sorry. You were saying?
Well, it has to do with like how evidence is interpreted. So we like fundamentally disagree how to about like what's possible or impossible. Like we think it's possible that God resurrected Jesus, right? You think that's they think that's impossible because of like science or whatever or something, right? So we have different standards of what's possible. So when we look at the same data, we come to different conclusions because of our ultimate commitments to the standards of what's possible.
Yeah.
That's the problem. So like what I recommend is to do what's called the transcendental argument for God. And that argument examines the facts of like what's necessary to even have an experience in the world. We ask the question like, so I'm having an experience. What other fact has to be true for me to have an experience? And when we look at the foundations of reality, it's all God, like things like moral absolutes or the rational order and patterns to nature. Where does that come from? That's not just random, right? Or logic. Logic comes from God. So we know this because of the attributes and all this that's revealed. And I think the transcendental argument is really the best way to go. Although the non-believers hate that argument because it makes them examine their assumptions about reality.
Yeah, and you're right about that because like how I say, like every time I try to bring up my own points, right, like their own viewpoint of like life, right, they try to make it to seem as if they're in the right and I'm in the wrong all the single time, right? Like as in how I will mention dead ass archaeological evidence, right? You know, such as Pontius Pilate having his limestone being uncovered in 1961, right? Those same people are gonna be like, but Pontius Pilate, right, was a myth. I'm like, what? So like, you know, his archaeological evidence just doesn't mean shit, even though, you know, how we also discover history, right? It's all by written accounts and archaeological evidence. So if they're denying that, they're just denying facts, right?
The way they argue is absurd. Pretty much,
Yeah.
they're just contrarians because with any like, but you got the thing with any archaeological, scientific, or historical facts, right? Those facts are all probabilistic, right?
Yeah.
So even if something's like 99% probable or something, they could say, "Well, I'll just take the 1% that I don't think it's true or something." So they can always do this contrarian thing. So that's why tag the transcendental argument for God, it's anti-skeptical. So it's literally designed for people to go like, well, what if I just deny Jesus is God? Well, then we can say, oh, well, now you're using, because I think logic comes from Jesus. Like Jesus is the arbiter of what's logical and what's not logical, right? That's what I believe. So if you don't believe in Jesus, then there has to be some other authority that would dictate like what is the right logic, what is logical and what is illogical, because that can't be a human authority because humans disagree on this, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And so point out that there's no if they go, well, when I reject your claim, they have to provide another claim that is the foundation for logic, but they have none. So
yeah,
it's an anti-skeptical argument because rejecting the argument uses logic. Well, where does their logic come from? Jesus.
There we go. There we go. And you know, like how I say, it just further. I mean, it might sound weird, right? But I think it further like proves the point of the Bible, like just like how I say, just being so real and truthful, right? Because if you have some people, right, is because mind you, I've encountered this from a good amount, like a good amount of these non-believers, right? Where like how I say, they always run the same script. I'm gonna provide evidence. They're gonna be like, it didn't exist. And two, right? As I'm talking, they're gonna like cut me off. And three, I get kicked out and I get insulted, right? And just these same scripts keep happening, and like.
Well, because you're dealing with people that aren't interested in objective truth. They're just interested in asserting their anything but God opinion. You know.
Exactly. And like, if they're all just running the same script and just hating, right? It just goes to show you how, like, how I say, I mean, shoot, man. I just think that that God is good. Yeah.
It confirms what the Bible says about when you reject God.
Yeah, exactly.
You have sort of like a darkened mindset. You can't like reason correctly and all that stuff. So it's not. They don't need more evidence. They need more forgiveness because they're in rebellion.
Exactly. Yeah.
They're committed to their sin. That they don't need God.
Yeah, and you're also right about that. Like, as these people like reject the Bible, I notice every time I literally argue with them, right, or debate them, logic is not being used. Is like their point is right and I'm wrong. Yeah.
I gotta take off, man. But
okay.
Yeah, I really recommend looking into the transcendental argument for God and studying. But it's your life, man. Yeah, have a good one.
Yeah, you have a good one too.